Alrighty. Okay, so you guys are about to... You're leaving Halsey Outpost behind, heading eastward. Anybody want to do anything last minute before you escape this area?
It's late, right?
It is late.
This is a trading outpost that has a dead family in it, right?
No, that's the... well, that's the general stores, yes.
I think...
I'm good.
He was thinking about it.
What were you going to do there?
Maybe just break in, take everything.
Well, it's one of these houses.
No, that's their house up there, but, like, that's where they keep the stuff. But then we were also seen leaving tonight, so that'd be a bad idea. Yeah, let's just keep going.
Alright.
Alrighty. Okay.
We continue onwards.
Alright. Let's go ahead and... Alright, so here is the regional map of Arconis. Our heroes have left Halsey Outpost and are heading eastward. So about how far out of Halsey Outpost do you guys want to get before you decide to crash for the night?
Pretty much
go ahead.
Till we get tired, like,
which is basically a thing that only really affects...
To get to this tower.
Yeah, only affects 3/4 of the group anymore.
Yeah, I was basically just going to say I'm going to stop only when they tell me to.
Like, we all just start setting up camp, and he keeps going.
Emlyn, you can stop now. Okay.
Oh. I'll stay downwind, though, so you won't die of my stench.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Okay. So, let me make a dice roll here. Mwahaha.
As I stare creepily at all three of you as you sleep from 30 feet away.
Hey, at least I don't have to wake up to take watch anymore.
Nope, you guys don't have to worry about that anymore at all. You've got your built-in night watchman.
Killing Emlyn was probably the best thing we could have ever.
Alrighty. Okay, yep, so you camp down for the night. It's a fairly peaceful evening. There's, by now, the moon is 3/4 full, so it's kind of pretty bright out. Other than what's behind you, you can see the shadows of the woods, which are kind of northwest of you from here, which is the little woodland area, Halsey Woods, where you found the children. But beyond that, it looks like open plains as far as the eyes can see. Do you guys want to light any kind of campfire? Keep it low key? What's your game plan?
Well, it's not like freezing cold outside, right?
No, it's kind of late March, early April, so.
No fire, so we don't attract things.
All right.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Well, you have a fairly peaceful night. Nothing unpleasant other than Emlyn lurks around your campfire, or your lack of campfire in your encampment. So when you wake up in the morning, the only thing unpleasant about this beautiful morning is that strange, sickly sweet smell. Did I say it's kind of, that horrid, rancid smell that's starting to grow on you?
Do you think we can just cut the guts now, or what are we waiting for? He doesn't need them.
You want to embalm him? Is that what you're...
Can we put, like, hay inside of him or something, just to make him a scarecrow type of a shape? At least give him some dimension.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know how that works, though. Would that hurt him?
Maybe if we put...
I don't feel pain.
Oh, well, there you are.
Yeah, but would you cease to... I don't know enough about this to say how it functions.
Let's test it.
I guess what I was getting at is I don't want to have to, but he does smell.
I could just sap your life force if it gets dire.
I
will.
Thank you.
I don't think that helps the smell.
I'm just going to show my claws to everybody and be like, I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, he's got like inch-long black talons.
Oh, no, thank you.
Yes, Emily, it's more about the stench than anything else. Are you beginning to become eviscerated in any portion of your abdomen? Like, are your guts actively starting to spill out of your abdomen cavity?
Well, my abdomen is sealed. I can't see.
I just thought, is it starting to decay around? Like,
Don't you have that thing where you can see through walls and stuff? Can you look through your own body? I don't understand
Getting
what's
pretty
so
grody
funny.
already.
I just wanted to know which part of the process you're actually in. But if you have not started yet, then I think we'd be okay for now. It's just a bit of a smell thing we have to deal with. Obviously, I have my own sense that I could spritz on him if necessary, but I believe in time you'll become accustomed to it.
You have all killed many things.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know what death is like?
Well, I don't stick around
You have seen corpses.
for a brief period, yeah.
What's your
We do
point?
not. Yeah, we don't travel with them.
They don't usually walk alongside, yeah.
We're just trying to get a better idea of what we're in for, Emmeline. Can you not understand that?
I'm dead.
Yes. Very good.
That's what you're in for.
I draw a knife, and I start walking towards him. Well,
I just watch you. I don't react. Just staring at you.
I look back at Theo and Kyla.
What, Tolga, what are you doing?
I was just gonna just watch him spill out.
What if that has adverse effects on his being?
Then we put it back in and tape it up.
Tape.
So sap, put some tree sap on it. It'll.
Back up and punt.
Sort of like a flex seal type of a thing.
Yeah, just like Flex Seal.
They wouldn't have had any at the outpost, but just thinking if we could find any kind of embalming material.
From Aldehyde?
church.
If we can find a seedy enough church to patch him up.
We will take a cleric or priest hostage.
I'm sure in your mind that works.
Have them patch you up and then send them on their way.
No, then we'd kill him.
No.
Yes, I do believe that the clerical priest would spill the beans about undead walking around with a group of adventurers. Again, we try not to attract unneeded attention towards us. It seems like you all have a problem of realizing that from time to time, but worry not, the voice of reason, Solonius, will keep us all on track.
God save the king.
Okay. I'm gonna put the knife away for now.
Okay, so you've decided, at least for now, not to
For now. we're
not
gonna-
to empty Emlyn of his gizzards, intestines, and
Yeah.
floppily bits. Okay.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Stuff me with hay.
All right. Well, it's not too long.
Not a bad idea.
I can
Adam
while
Ray.
away the hours,
That should be
conversing
a
with the
parody.
powers of evil every day. Okay. So yeah, it's not too long as you traipse along the road the next day, where there is a southernmost road. So the road kind of continues ahead of you, and it also veers off to the south.
I think we should do some off-roading now. We're still trying to go east, right?
You are still traveling east, yep. Which is, I mean, the road still continues on eastwards. So you just have an option to go south here if you wish.
If I use my eagle eyes to look south, do I see anything of note for a mile?
Not within the south.
South.
No, not within a mile.
How about east?
Not within a mile east either.
Dang it.
Which of the pathways looks more trodden?
Difficult to tell, really. They're both pretty well worn. Both have got cart ruts, like grooved into the dirt trails and numerous scuff marks where hundreds of thousands of boots in their time have trod these long, weary roads just like yourselves.
I'm gonna look.
Public works sucks in Arconis. They're lazy. They don't do anything.
With your infinite wisdom, could you
Yes.
maybe discern which way we should travel? I would assume we continue east, but...
Well, that's something I was rolling around in my head. So Gore, if I use detect magic, am I able to pick up traces of that? Like if someone walked, I'm not 100% sure how it works. So
only if it was incredibly recently. Like if there was something inherently magical that maybe touched the ground, there may be a little residue behind. But in truth, you could probably see it. You know what I mean? If it was close enough that detect magic would work, you'd probably see it all around you. Or see them, anyway. Whoever left the trail behind.
I got a lot of spells here. So I am going to cast detect magic just to see. I'll look over at Kyla and say, I do have one thing I could try, 30th culture. And I'm going to cast detect magic.
Okay. Holding at your arms and focusing on the arcane winds. No, there's nothing magical here. So nothing that would give you any indication of whether you should continue east or throw caution to the wind and go south.
Yeah.
No reason to go south. I say east.
Nice.
We don't need to delay this further.
Ooh, the leader stepping up. Yeah, I'm just
Hey!
Tolgar lays down the law.
Tolgar, the leader. Okay.
Okay.
I thought I was the leader.
Oh,
They let
Tolgar
you.
thinks he's a leader. You're probably the actual leader.
I'm kidding. Obviously kidding.
We go east.
Tolgar,
Yeah,
the slave driver. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, you don't make us. I mean, on foot, you guys inherently are not covering as much pathway as you probably could. The simple reality of it is, Thelonious is an old man, and walking from sun up to sun down, it's wearying and it's tiring on his poor old body. And as sprightly as he is for how old are you? 76?
75, I think.
75. You know, that's a lot of walking for a 75-year-old. And you are in situations where you are beginning to have to make more and more frequent stops. Because every day it
Use
just
the
gets
restroom?
worse.
Not to go to the bathroom.
His poor old knees, his hips,
God.
his lower back.
What a drag.
He magically fixed the bathroom problem years ago.
It's a spell called Thelonious's Colostomy. And it works wonders. But yeah, so you have who knows how many days of this joyous travel across open territory.
That's my least favorite type of travel.
I know, right? Joyous travel? Yeah.
My least favorite type of joyous travel.
Sometimes I try to go and pick Thelonious up because I'm getting so angry. Like, just come here!
I mean, yeah, if you want to give... I mean, honestly, all joking aside, he's a decrepit old man that doesn't have much stuff. He weighs nothing to Tolgar. Tolgar could probably just put him on his shoulders or on
my shoulders, start
piggyback,
jogging.
and just hoof it along, you know.
If you hoof
This
it,
is such a
everyone's
good
hoofing it with
encounter
you.
for anyone else to come across. Oh,
Yep.
man.
It's like Master Blaster, but just in a really, really sad way.
A ranger, a zombie, and an old man being toted around by a mountain of a man.
Yep.
Approach on the horizon. What do you do?
I shoot them.
Exactly. We're screwed.
Yeah, that's the course of action.
You should get some spurs, Thelonious.
Yeah, so did you...
Oh,
You
no.
can dig the spurs in his ribs if he's not
I
running
definitely
fast
did
enough.
All right, so I'm gonna... Obviously, I'd fight it being a prideful old man. Until you, like, prop me up there, and I'm like a little toddler, you know, who's, like, really whiny and fussy, and then once you finally get him set, he just, like, stops. the one who used to stop. They go, oh, it's quite nice actually. And it's kind of like
tottering along.
It's actually the preferred method of travel. I told God, would you mind doing this more often?
I'm doing this once.
Never again. Never.
I guess I'll just enjoy the ride then, and I'll put my elbows on the side of his shoulders and put my hands on top of his head and just rest my head and just enjoy the ride.
It's very bold, so it's probably...
As Togo's going along, and after a little while he hears...
What are Togo's mount stats?
My mount stats.
Yeah, what are Tolgar's mount stats? Like, if you're a caster sitting on top of a Tolgar, you have like this improved melee ability all of a sudden.
You get plus 1 melee for your advantage. Advantage on all foot-bound individuals of medium height, which really means you're still more feeble than the average person. I
just got a really stupid idea from Akira involving all of the campaign. Somebody in chat remind me at the break.
Okay. All right, well, several days' worth of travel continue in the eastwardly direction. You do not see another northern road or southern road. Periodically, you are passed by merchants, people on horseback, anything... just kind of rudimentary stuff. People going from point A to point B, going about their business, as it were. I'm assuming you guys are doing your best to keep low profiles and not be, hello, we're murderers.
I'm wondering about Emlyn, if he's trying to, like, zap anyone up there. No? Okay, cool.
No, I
keep Emlyn on a leash.
I'm pretty much taking my cues from you guys.
Put it on a leash.
At the moment, there's no reason for me to burst out or kill people for no reason. So,
okay.
I feel like I'd be trying to gather a little information on the area as I travel, not necessarily like exactly the place we're looking for because no one's heard of it yet, but rather like, are there bandits nearby or something that we can scapegoat? I mean,
scapegoat.
Like
incidentally, I found out how that phrase came about the other day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like occasionally, like when you pass by someone, just be like, "Hey, what's going on? Is there anything I should know about on the road ahead?"
All right. Well, as you go ahead, dice here. Ooh. That was weird. Okay. Well, it said
a 4.
No, it's actually an 84 because it hit itself.
400.
It hit itself and
400
changed things. Okay. Well, you have no meaningful encounters. Nothing unpleasant reaches you until you arrive at the next fork. It does continue east, but it also goes kind of northeast from here. More north than east, but still northeast. Needless to say, however, once again, you find a small group of people are at the junction, kind of heading down from the south. So you can ask the same sort of question that you've been rudimentary asking. Have you ever heard of a place called Morden's Hollow? Whatever, as you do. Mm-hmm. Okay. The group, as you approach them, seem very apprehensive of you. They're like staying way back, and you notice that as their wagons are heading down south, they're probably 300 or 400 yards from you, but they stop and become very, very still. It's three different. It's basically 3 wagons. You can see pretty much at the front, the lead wagon has got 2 men on the front of it. One of them has kind of reached back behind him and has pulled something around and laid it on his lap.
I would like to, let me just cast it here. Not cast it. I want to use Eagle Eyes and see what I can see.
It is a heavy crossbow. You can tell that from you. With your superior vision over such distance, you can tell that it is a heavy crossbow. He's kind of just laid it across his lap. It's not like pointing in your direction. It's just kind of resting on his lap.
Okay.
More kind of, at least at this point, more defensively than anything else.
Oh, he's got a crossbow. Just keep walking straight. He hasn't fired it. I think he's just scared.
He hasn't fired it.
So, act natural. And we'll continue to move towards them, but
Okay.
Casually, like the cool, like, hey.
And what's more casual than an undead warlock, a red-headed girl with a bow, and an ancient decrepit wizard on the biggest human being ever?
I'm gonna let him off of my shoulders so he can walk on his own.
With pride, Thelonious, with pride.
Yes, of course, always with pride.
Okay. So as you kind of get closer towards them, they've pulled off the road. Not far, just enough to give you plenty of room to go past, which you had anyway, because the road is easily wide enough. It seems to be more of a gesture than anything else, because they really didn't need to pull to the side to give you room. The one at the front of it, who's kind of like holding the reins of the horses, as you kind of get close, he just like tips his hat to you and tries to look directly ahead and not hold eye contact. The one with the crossbow, you see him kind of rest his hand on the top of it and tap it 2 or 3 times, bringing a subtle subconscious awareness that he has it.
Happy Monday, folks.
What day is it, Gore?
Oh, it's Monday. Why not? We'll give this one to Tolgar. It's Monday.
Which god is Monday named after?
The mundane god.
Okay.
Oh.
Because it's the Monday.
No, there you go. See.
Oh wow!
Okay.
It all makes sense.
So as you kind of level with them, you can see that it is a simple merchant caravan. The lead cart at the front is loaded down with large boxes and strapped with rope all the way across and round. The second one is actually a wagon with a canvas back to it, and the large hoops, 3 of which kind of hold it up and give it stability. And then the third one at the back is actually has 4 different. It's got like two people up front and 2 sitting on the back, all of which are wearing kind of like light armor, like leather and stuff like that. They have swords, they have shields, and they're probably the equivalent of the merchant caravan's guard. They all kind of look at you grimacingly, as from like leaning out the side and staring at you as you get closer.
Hello, well met, friends. Where are you? Are you going or coming from somewhere? We just would like to know what information we could get about the road ahead of us here.
Well, we just came down south. We just left Hazel Grove, but a couple of days back.
I can't. Okay.
Is that where Morden's Hollow is, perchance?
Morden's Hollow?
With a tower and a...
Don't recall anywhere by the name of Morden's Hollow, no.
How about a place with like a big tower? Like this?
Nope. Not a place with a tower.
How about like a mountainside with a big shadow across a
hollow? There's not a mountainside, but there is a large, ominous hill with a ruined manor on the top of it.
That sounds exactly like it, doesn't it?
That sounds ominous. Where?
I just told you, back there at Hazel Grove. 2 days north, can't miss it, stay on the main road.
I'm gonna look at them and not. Okay.
Safe travels.
Were you traveling north, or are you fixing to carry on going that way east?
We're definitely going to go north.
Heading north, yes.
Oh, fair enough. Probably just as well, because you don't look very well provisioned, and it's quite a long way east until you come across the next town, from what I understand.
Which is?
Don't know. I've never gone that far east.
So you don't exactly know how far the next town is, then?
Oh, I'm just going by hearsay. You know, merchants, words, gossip, stuff like that. No, pretty much we travel from Hazel Grove down to Halsey at the outpost, sell our wares, and sometimes we will carry on and go as far as Mindenbrook and stuff like that, but I haven't really got the stomach for those long trips anymore. And Halsey Outpost has done us, has done us proud for these last several months. So, being a prosperous place, Hazel Grove has a lot of things to offer, and it's not a bad place to set up and sell. You ever been to? Well, I suppose you must have been if you come from that way. Been to Halsey Outpost? Ever done any trade in there?
Oh yeah, there's murders happening over there. Be careful.
What?
A lot of murders.
Murders?
What
were you talking about?
Magistrate, some kids.
Okay, now they're all sort of like looking at each other and you see him kind of look back behind it. What? Just recently happened?
I'm talking about while we were there just now.
That's unfortunate. Well,
Yes, why do you think we left?
I don't quite know. You look like very modern gentlemen and lass to me. I'm sure you left because you couldn't stand the terrible ongoings. Well, we'll be on our way.
Yes, that was exactly why you mentioned that we are so lightly provisioned. That is why we had to leave quite hastily after hearing all of the devious acts that were going on. We just wanted to get away as fast as we could.
Oh, I fully understand. Well, I'll be seeing you then. Come on.
Yes.
Oh, goodness gracious, look at the sun. Is that the time? Let's go. And they start whipping their horses on and begin
Luck with the murders.
Oh, no. It's fine. We'll worry about that later. And when they get to the bottom of the road, you kind of see them stop and look left and right, and then you suddenly notice that all the carts and wagons shift round to the left, and they actually head east.
Oh my god. That's awesome. Oh, what happened? What? Are they okay?
Is it something I said?
Is it something I said?
Yeah, I mean, it's not likely that they assumed that you, motley people, may have done the murders. Of course not.
Yes, Tolgar, you can't be so forthgiving of information like that.
It's not so much.
It was just a fact of the outpost they were going to. I thought that we should warn them of the murders and...
What do we care? Let them figure that out on their own. It makes suspicion's eyes glare at us a little more than if you would have just...
that?
Suspicion?
Perhaps incriminatingly.
If he doesn't know suspicion, he doesn't know what incriminatingly means, Kyla.
Good point.
I know what suspicion. You just gave it eyeballs and I don't understand.
Just saying it casts aspersions on our group we do not need. Do you know that?
So you know aspersions.
Okay.
Now you cast aspersions. It's a spell, obviously.
What's that?
Now I don't trust you.
I thought we were trying for a low, suspicious approach. Hence the gutting me.
We didn't actually do that, though. It was just an idea. Something we're just...
He really is starting to reek now, though. I mean, several more days on. I mean, this is like 4 days on from the last time. He is becoming really, really repugnant smelling.
So, Gore, of all the, learning and books I've read, would I know if removing an undead person's innards would hurt them? Or, I guess not hurt, but, you know what I mean, though?
Harm their magic restored vitality?
Can they survive without their entrails?
Can they?
It's not like they're doing anything.
Dead.
Right.
But I want to know.
But technically, undead have to be. They are killable. They're destroyable. So,
Right. That's what
I understand why he's asking the question. Well, give me an arcane knowledge check, and we'll see, won't we? Because there are many kinds of undead.
Oh my god.
It's totally safe.
Oh,
so what do you know, Thelonious?
You should use the sword +1.
I've had a few days to think about our next course of action here with Emmeline, especially when it comes to your gutting maneuver. And I've read books that say one thing, and I've read books that say another. Doesn't seem like there is a concise plan of action. So if you are going to do one of those two things, I'm going to put everything on you, Tolga. So that's my advice.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it would help if you knew what kind of undead he is. I mean, without knowing that, I mean... Is it a zombie, a ghoul, a white, a ghast?
Yeah. Would Emlyn know? Would Emlyn know? Because he's got a lot of experience with.
I don't think ghouls know that they're ghouls.
It's a very interesting.
I don't think undead generally, except maybe the top tier undead like vampires and stuff, probably are fully conscious of what they are.
But he does know that he's undead, so he's not a ghoul.
Well, and he's clearly too intelligent to be... He's not ravenous and just attacking everything on sight, so probably not a ghoul, no, or a ghast. He is coherent, so probably not a zombie.
It's not, like, super strong, so he's not a lich. He's not dragon-esque, so he's not a...
His strength did get boosted when he came back.
He is. He's a lot stronger than he used to be.
Not by much, but he's definitely...
He also doesn't feel pain.
And he is smarter, too.
He's smarter than the average ghoul.
I take out my knife, and I start approaching Emlyn.
Okay, Emlyn, take two.
I just hold out my claws, ready to scratch you, to
Will you
replenish...
please move your claws out of the way?
No, they're out... I'm giving you access to my body.
He's like lifting his arms up so that you can...
Turn your head and
lift your shirt up. I'm going to go for the belly.
This is getting hot.
With one hand, I lift my robe up, I guess.
So yeah, he pulls his robe up, and underneath you can see his kind of pale, pallid, grey, bloated, distended belly. Who ate all the pies? Who ate all the pies?
Felonious, please. Maybe. It's going to start smelling really bad.
Don't worry, I have my special sense on ready.
If I just do this, and I do that against the belly.
So you can stick it in his lower belly and just... All right, okay. Well, the second you pierce it, you hear a... As all of the stomach gases from all of that just spills out into the air. Constitution check, please, Tolgar. Constitution saving throw. Con save.
Right. Oh.
And you're dead.
15. Okay, you are barely able to hang on to this morning's breakfast. You are like... As it is so rancid. Okay. Moments after that... Horrible green infected intestines spill out like a big gaggle of worms onto the floor, as well as a lot of putrid sludge that just drops out. That at one point was probably his pancreas, his his appendix, all the other lower parts of the organs are now spewed all over the ground and hanging from his open stomach wound.
We did it.
You think perhaps we should have done this earlier?
What's Emlyn look like? Does he look fine?
I obviously take some damage, right?
I mean, yeah, I would say... I mean, it's not like... again, for you, it's more about destruction of your body than it is individual wounds. Right. But, I would say that would be the equivalent of a crit from Tolgar. So, Tolgar, roll your damage, and
that's a brutal crit, too.
We'll call it a crit.
Okay. Wait, a crit with...
So it's 3d4, right? You use a dagger?
Yeah.
3d4. I'm just going to type in 3d4.
Plus your strength bonus.
Plus my strength bonus.
The 3d4 plus 4. Alright, 12 points of damage is delivered to Emlyn's bloated, festering corpse. Okay, so by now, the smell is now, traveled downwind and is now reaching the nostrils of Thelonious and Kyla.
Alright, I'm going to cast Prestidigitation and make wind going in the opposite direction. Yeah. I'm gonna be like Thelonious Couch, Thelonious Couch, Thelonious Couch, Thelonious Couch, Thelonious Couch. Just
trying to keep blowing it away from you.
And then I'm going to cast Fire Bolt on the entrails on the ground, just to set them on fire at this point.
Okay.
Start burning them.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And everyone, step away, step away, step away.
Now
please,
you have like a crispy, sausagey type thing. You know, it looks like haggis, probably.
Yes. So pretty much while all that's happening, if anything's still in me that's hanging out, I'm going to start trying to just pull it out.
Okay, yeah, so you start reaching in and grabbing and snatching out until you rip your intestines away, and then your lower intestines, and then your large intestines, your small intestines.
Oh my God, that's going to take
There's a big old mess.
Medium intestine.
Even
larger.
Extra large
extra
intestine,
large,
gargantuan intestine. But eventually there is a huge, big, nasty pile of entrails on the floor.
Imagine just riding by that. Look down.
It's just awful.
Well, I tried to burn it.
It's awful.
As I could.
Yeah, and he's over there
I've seen something like that.
incinerating it as best he can.
Yeah.
So yeah, after all that's done, I am going to approach Tolgar, cast Vampiric Touch on myself, and attack him.
Oh!
And if he lets me, that'll be a hit, even though I never hit with him.
I will let him do it.
So
17!
All right, okay. So yeah, you dig your claws into Tolgar's shoulders and begin to suck the life right out of him. So 17 points of necrotic damage for Tolgar, and half of that healed back to Emlyn.
Careful on the tattoos.
Yeah, it's
all
like
right, I'm,
as his claws dig in, they almost like burn through the flesh.
I'm not going to attack again because I'm
Oh, you're fine.
I'm pretty okay.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Other than the fact that you have this huge, big, floppy, gaping wound now at your stomach.
Oh, doesn't that repair with the heal? I thought it would stitch itself back up. You know.
You've healed a lot of it, but I mean, it's still kind of.
There's still an opening.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can stitch it. I can stitch it for you. Just
yeah, let
wait
the
till
girl
we can.
do it.
Wait till we can.
Okay. Oh. This is pretty sick and twisted going on right now.
Sorry, guys.
Do I smell less?
Go, be your best
once they get away from, you'll probably smell less once they actually get the wound closed up. I mean, there's still a heart in there. There's still some lungs and stuff like that could ultimately be removed. So it's not like you're,
Oh yeah.
It's the first step in your embalming process. Let's put it that way.
We're doing a piecemeal, you know?
Right.
That's right.
My little.
Okay. Okay. So you're going to carry on northwards. Will it all... do you want to plan... Are you going to do any more of this tomorrow, or... Are you kind of done with this for now?
Game.
I get stitched up, and it's really up to them, right?
Okay, so you're going to stitch up his stomach?
Yeah, I have a little bit of a drinking game in mind for this. So he's got a little bit to heal left, and we can probably tell. I'll stitch him up, and then I'm looking at it, and then I'm looking at the potion that I have from the church, and I'm just thinking, maybe later, but I think it'd be a fun drinking game to, like, get/drink potion, get drunk, watch him heal, the end.
Just rinse and repeat.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, another day or so north, and eventually you are arriving at Halsey Grove. It is quite dark when you arrive. Let me go ahead and move this over. The map's friggin' huge, so I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. So that everybody can kind of see Halsey Grove a little better.
Switch us?
I
would love to
patience, my dear.
I can't. I have none.
I have to line the map up first.
Okay.
We're so demanding. It's like, show us now.
All right, so here is Halsey Grove as you arrive at night. So basically, as you walk up head up the road, there's tons and tons of fields to your left, to your right, crop fields galore. The whole place is kind of lit up as the various different lamplights and firelights shine out of the building. Hazel Grove. I'm calling it Halsey Grove. Halsey was back that way.
Hazel Grove.
So, yeah, this is Hazel Grove. Yep. And it appears to be a pretty large and productive town.
Pretty.
Give me a moment to appreciate this.
Yeah, this is awesome.
They all stop as they get
Really
to
nice.
Halsey Grove, and they're like, or Hazel Grove, and they're like,
For some reason, this town is prettier than all the other towns.
They're paying their taxes.
I want to be pretty, like this town.
okay. And there's like hedgerows to your left and hedgerows to your right that have been carefully planted as aesthetics. The first building down on the left-hand side seems to be a humble house. But the road continues to wind through and down into the grove itself. Nah, dude, I know it's real late.
Okay. Are there any
Well,
people
damn.
like close to us?
No, not at this time. The streets are pretty much empty.
Let's head in.
Very
See what
quiet.
happens.
All right. Okay, you head down the main road. Ahead of you, you can see what appear to be some big huts. They look like grain silos and stuff like that. As I said, there's a humble house immediately to your left, and you can continue to follow the road around, past the windmill, and towards what would appear to be the center of town. Alright, once you kind of get to this junction here, you've got a choice. You can go northwards, which looks like it leads you into kind of like, there's like almost like I reluctantly call it the town square, because it's not particularly square. And there is a large mosaic on the ground in tile. There also, you can hear very faint music and merriment coming from that direction.
How bad does he smell?
He still doesn't smell particularly pleasant. He certainly doesn't smell as pungent as he did a day or so ago when there were entrails laying on the floor. But
and Kyla did stitch him up, so
Yeah.
it's probably.
Emlyn, maybe you should hang back
Just until we get
in a tree somewhere.
oh, hold on, I need to.
So we can find a room.
I thought we were going to get me embalmed.
Yeah. We'll find a cleric or priest or a balming man.
A balming man. 'Cause
I don't
that's the
know.
thing. Yeah, I just noticed I don't have
Boris
the other chat
Balmer.
windows open.
I know.
I'm a balmer.
Just find what they do with their dead.
They'll probably bury them.
Might not be the best conversation starter. Hi, we're just new in town. How do you bury your dead?
What do you do with your dead?
We eat them.
It's,
Emlyn, run!
it's the right question, considering I'm dead.
Maybe we should just get you washed up for now. We get a room at an inn or something.
You really want me soaking in water? Ooh, that'll be fun. Yes, let's do
Not
that.
soaking. Just to scrub down or something. Get you some kind of
Yeah, let's scrub down dead skin.
Who is going to scrub him?
with essential oils.
Yeah, who is going
Fine.
to do that?
Fine.
You want me to
We
scrub?
can have him do it.
Yeah, you want me to scrub myself.
We want you to take a bath. You smell.
So I'm just gonna follow them. I'm not gonna stay alone.
Okay.
Follow them.
Yes, we just tell them that he hasn't taken a bath in a few days. People won't.
I don't think too much of it.
No.
All
I
right.
don't think.
Okay, as you kind of
Smell it.
pass
Leave
between the
arms
next two
more.
buildings, there's some horses in the field to the right over the small hedge that immediately get very nervous, like, and you see them like turn and scarper away from the fence line, getting as far away from the Emlyn as they possibly can.
It's like they know you feed on them.
Alrighty.
That's
Okay,
Tolgar.
as you're closer to the center of town, so ironically, you can hear all the noises coming from this building here. There's a sign hanging from a pole It's difficult to read here in the dark, but your guess is it's probably an inn or a tavern of some sort. However, to the north of you right here, there is, in fact, an old stone church.
Awesome. Okay. Do any of the buildings look like taverns?
You listened to a word I just said, did she?
I thought you said an old stone church.
And before that, I said...
The tavern over there. Sorry. I don't know what's wrong with my brain.
Jane's playing her own game of Dungeons and Dragons. She imagines what she wants me to have
character
said.
Is all.
I was just going to say that. She's a method actor.
No, I'm just an idiot. We could try the church first. How do we pull this off? How do we get alive?
Yes, what exactly are we going to do? Well, what if we just told Emlyn to just lie perfectly still? He doesn't feel pain, so he won't flinch. Right, Emlyn?
You want me to play dead?
Yes, I mean, it should not be too difficult for you, I would imagine.
Then you can just dig yourself out, and we'll come pick you up in the morning.
So you literally want them to embalm him, bury him, and then dig him out.
Bury.
No. It was kind of a joke.
Oh well, that was when you said about digging. He can just dig himself out in the morning. I just assumed.
That was a joke. That was a joke. That wasn't actually a plan.
Okay, so, like, I kind of want to do this.
I mean,
it would work.
Will it work?
Let's go ahead and have somebody.
Can I do a knowledge arcana myself? Because
I'm more interested in someone making a knowledge religion check right now.
Oh, okay.
Not I.
Well, I can. I mean, but
I can too.
I mean, yeah, either of you should. I think it would be very pertinent that Emlyn would want to.
Yeah, oh shit.
Should I?
Roll
should I not roll then?
No, you can if you wish.
Okay,
no,
okay. Yes.
Roll well, please.
Hey.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Clerics destroy undead, and they have a natural knack of knowing when they are. If you take an undead into a church and say, there is a very reasonable chance that Emlyn may not come out in one piece.
But even if I play dead, like they'll just know.
That is up to you to decide if you think that will fool priests or clerics.
Oh, see.
Especially if it's Pelorian, which, given the culture of the area, probably is.
Yeah, unless it's a sinister god who actually goes, ooh, this is fun. There's a fairly high chance that you're basically taking him to the one group of people that are most likely to destroy him on sight.
So we need to steal some balming oils and go hide in the woods or something.
Or just hide in the tavern bedroom.
I will do my best if you go and steal some tools and equipment from the church.
I'll have to case the place, but okay. Go get us a room.
If you need a good distraction, I could probably help with that, Kyla.
There's not many people out. It's late. Everyone seems to be inside.
Speaking of which, Thelonious, I know you already have 2 spell books in your possession.
Yes.
I'm going to take out the demonology book. If you want to summon more devils and demons, here you go.
Oh, thank you.
That's a 3rd book for you to carry.
Yes, another tome to carry around. Great.
Another huge, big, heavy, lugging tome. Oh.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'll hang out. I'll look at it later.
So, yeah, I mean, periodically you see a person walk by holding a lantern or whatever, as they're going from house to house, coming into the tavern, leaving the tavern, stuff like that. But, I mean, while the streets are not completely dead, it is just a person here or there. It certainly isn't, rife with activity.
In the meantime, there are wooded areas around. It seems.
There are clusters of trees scattered all over the place. Bushes, hedgerows. I mean, this whole town is incredibly rural. It's almost like, unlike a lot of towns that you've been where they cleared out the area to make a good, solid town, these people seemed like they literally built everything in and amongst the trees. They didn't destroy things. They actually allowed them to stay put, and that's probably one of the reasons why it seems so pleasant and welcoming and homely.
Nice.
If we could find a way to just hide Emlyn for the meantime.
Emlyn, those bushes, go, sit.
Which bushes are you pointing to?
It's a pretty slim hedge.
Alright, I'm gonna just wander over there.
Alright.
And just
I'm
keep
gonna take
an
a
eye
look
out on
at
the
the-
surroundings. Yeah.
I'm going to take a couple looks at the church here and try and discern number of entrances, where entrances might be afforded, other ways to possibly climb in it, or...
Okay, so you want to kind of do a perusal around the church?
Yeah. I'll just make it look like I'm walking through the town, so it's not, like, weird.
Yeah. Well, at the front of the church, there is a large set of double doors, huge, big, sturdy double oak doors. As you kind of give it a quick wander round, there is a side door here at the back on the right-hand side, and another over here on the left. This right here is actually like a tower that kind of goes up, probably another 2 floors above the main church itself.
Yeah,
perched at the very top is a huge, big bell.
Okay, so it's open.
Open roofed, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this isn't easy. You never know what's on the other side of a door. Especially when they stain the glass. Yeah. What's all of this nonsense? I imagine I'm picking it up a little in the peripherals there.
Well, that's a fence there, and that it appears to be a farm full of. It looks like a big orchard.
Okay. It just heard a sound bit, and it sounded a little unsettling. But okay. I'm assuming if I just come back, everybody's still in the square there, except that one who's hiding.
Where did you want Emlyn to hide?
I guess. I don't know. Went over there.
Just in this bush? Okay.
Well, now that I've given it another thought, what if he hides like over here so he can maybe look into the building?
Oh. If that's
so
what
we
you
can
want
call
me to
you
do.
if we can call you quickly if we need you.
Yeah. How wide is this building actually? I mean, is this to scale or?
It's very roughly to scale. Hold on. It's about it's actually not that roughly to scale because it's bigger than that. But it's probably no longer than about 60 foot long. About 30 foot, 40 foot wide, maybe.
Okay, so with what Tolgar says, I'm actually just going to go up to it and use my ghostly gaze.
Okay.
And just glance and kind of walk around that side, looking in, basically to see if I see anybody.
Okay, yeah. So this main entry section here, you can see what appears to be 3 or 4 people in there, just wandering around, and you see them scrubbing the pews. One of them is polishing what appears to be like a huge, big circle, like stone circle on the floor. This basically just looks like 4 people busy working in there. And then you notice that there's actually a 5th who appears to be much smaller than the others.
Like a child?
Yeah, looks like a child.
Okay. So to Kyla, I'm just going to say, it seems they are working in the main chamber of the church. So the back entrance might be free.
Nice.
Right. There's also the option of there's because I would have noticed the cemetery, right?
Sorry?
It's kind of standing around. I would have noticed the cemetery.
The cemetery is
right?
way back here beyond you.
Yeah, so I probably would have been able to know it was there?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Okay. I mean, as you kind of wandered round this side, you'd have probably caught a glance of it through the trees, or sorry, through the clearing or whatever. The old, decrepit, ancient walls that are busted down. Clearly this church, and from the distance that you can tell from here, the cemetery seems to be considerably older than most of the other buildings around here.
Yeah, because I was thinking that there might be some chance that they do their bombing more on site. And there's like a mausoleum up there.
Do you see a mausoleum?
Well, not from here, but...
I'm asking Emlyn.
He can't see that far.
Okay.
He can see inside the building, but he can't see all the way over here to the church.
Yeah, that's only a 30-foot range.
Gotcha.
Which, I mean, if we had to hide him anywhere, he would fit in best there.
That's true.
Hide in the graveyard.
Let's go in.
You want to go in the church?
Gotta pay respects to whoever's grave we see first and can read.
Okay, so where are you going in?
The church?
Okay.
Is there somewhere to sneak in there? No?
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah. That's a tall order. Because I don't have the thieves' tools necessary to really open a door forcibly. Tolgar, how high could you throw me?
High. Really high. Super high. Thelonious can fly.
Oh yeah, Thelonious can fly.
Yes, I can. So what?
I might be able to enter through the top up there.
The bell tower, he wants to get up the top and try to come in through the roof.
Yes, I know that, but Thelonious was hoping maybe you thought he would be your heist. He'd be part of the caper you wanted to do.
It wouldn't hurt to have your talents alongside.
I offered you in the first place and you said no.
Did I?
Yes, you did, and I was very hurt.
What was this? What was this?
I said maybe you could help with a distraction. You said no. I could do it myself.
No. It was more. I was thinking in terms of here, which seemed odd to me because I would need that help inside. So it was a misunderstanding all around.
Well, if you do want to fly up, I could do that, and old Thelonious will just wait on the ground alone.
No. Thelonious, why don't you fly up there with some rope, tie some off, and I'll climb up and join you. I know you don't like to dish out all of your spells.
Yes, then what am I going to do when I'm up there? Please, elaborate on this plan for me.
You can come down with me and use your talents to help provide distractions and such in case anything goes wrong.
Well, what if we just walked in?
What if you just walked in and someone was, I don't know, invisible?
That's what I mean. What if I disguise myself to look like a priest?
You know, I just haven't had a magician around long enough.
You know that it's not a word I appreciate, Kyla.
Don't call him a magician. Oh, Jesus.
You're trying to just hurt my feelings, and I do not...
Pull that rabbit out of your hat again.
Okay.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, what if I go in, and with the appearance of a priest, I make some sort of distraction, you slip in through the shadows and grab what we need?
Yes.
Emlyn, you're shaking your head, Emlyn. What?
I was just thinking you cause Kyla to fly up there, you disguise as a priest and walk in the front door and do your
distract
thing.
Yes.
So then Kyla goes in through the bell tower and you go in through the front door.
I like it. And I'll hang out with Emlyn.
Under this tree.
We'll do our own thing.
Our own thing.
Our own thing.
We'll be backup.
We're gonna have our tribe. It's gonna be the tribe of awesome and danger.
If I hear loud noises, we will run inside. If I hear any kind of eagle noise, I will run inside.
Well, no, there might be loud noises, and we wouldn't want you to run inside. Things might get a bit over the top.
Just scream like, I'm fine.
If things are good or things are bad?
Things are good. If things are bad, you know the symbol.
I'm not fine?
Oh, it's the cacao.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, right. Sounds good.
That's what it is in my tribe. So.
Caw.
That's how we
How
Caw.
tribal indeed.
Good luck.
So, what do you think? You think it's a good? Are we go on the heist, Kyla?
Yeah, let's go.
Like
Okay, so talk me through this caper of yours. Who does what first?
So Tolgar goes right through the door.
How tall is the roof that Kyla's trying to get on?
All the way up to the top of the bell tower is probably a good 60 feet.
Okay, so it is a ways. Okay. All right, then I'm going to cast. No, I can't. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, so I'm going to cast. So Kyla, you do understand though? Once I get you up there, you're not going to be able to get back down in the flying sense.
Yes. I was about to ask.
I will get you.
As well, the hand thing you do, with the skeleton boy hand thing that floats around, grabs stuff and carries books and freaked out those children earlier. How far away can you sling that?
Well, that won't work on you, but I will.
No, not me. But if I were to tie a rope at the top, maybe, and you were to try and use that to untie it, so that there's no evidence of the caper at all.
Might be tough to untie a well-tied rope with only 10 pounds of force.
Don't worry. Don't worry about the rope. I will just bring you down.
Okay.
Oh, if only you'd have saved those if only you'd have saved all those intestines, you could have used those for rope.
And it's great about that is you
Intestine
hold
balloon.
on to it. There's enough stretch to it. You can just kind of bungee down.
Yeah, and they're biodegradable, so after a while there'll be no
Perfect.
evidence left.
Right, yeah. Emlyn
Just the
Bungee.
smell.
Okay.
All right. Well, I
He just stands at the top and unravels them.
I trust the undead guy saying, I will get you down, and no other explanation. I like it. We move on.
I'll see what he can do, and it's been a week anyway, and I'm gonna hold up my ring that helps me teleport a bit.
Save that. I will get you.
Right.
You heard him, we'll get you. All right, so Lonius Coach. I'm going to cast Flight.
Okay.
Been waiting so long to do this again. I'm gonna fly off.
As your feet.
I haven't cast it yet, so you just jumped for a second.
Okay.
Ha! Oh!
Oh.
Oh, anticlimax. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you casting it on yourself, or are you casting it on him?
No, I'm casting it on Kyla.
Okay. So you give Kyla the touch, and
Yes.
Kyla's
So
feet
I'm
go,
going to walk
and
again
suddenly you
out of the
lift her
square.
off the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk slightly out of the square to a place where I feel a little more confident nobody would be watching.
I thought we were all going over to the street.
You're all kind of over here by
Oh,
this
yeah,
bush
yeah.
by now, anyway.
Yeah.
Loudly
Okay.
discussing your plan outside the church window. No.
Clerics, we're stealing from you. Thanks.
Please go to the other end of the church. We need you not to be in the bell tower.
Caw!
Okay.
Here I go.
So the second Kyla's gone, I'm just going to turn to Thelonious and be like, be a Pelor.
Be of Pilo. Oh, you mean, yes, of course. Thank you. Is that the sect that's in there? Are you sure about that?
You've yet to figure that out, but you can make assumptions.
Well, when you saw inside, you did not see inside him. Did you see any emblems or anything like that?
No, I did not. But be a Pelor.
Okay. Yes,
They're
of
all
course.
nimbly pimbly.
Nimbly. Got it. All right. Yes. Be a Pilo. Be a Pilo. I'm going to walk away just like, be a Pilo. As I kind of get myself into position in the front.
Okay.
I'll wait a little bit to make sure that Kyla's had enough time to get up there and...
Okay. All right, so
like-
Kyla, so you're floating up to the bell tower?
Trying to avoid total conspicuousness as I do so.
Okay.
Like 18
I mean,
people watching you.
well, the bottom line is, like, as long as you stay... First of all, the church is large enough that if you, like, ascend from the side of the tower,
Ascend.
the entire right-hand side of the town couldn't see you anyway.
Yeah.
And within not too long, you'd be above the rooftop. So unless, say, there was a farmhand or something feeding this pig over here happened to glance in your direction and go, oh, look, a flying girl. It's not that likely that you'll be spotted. Of course, shit happens.
Roll the dice. Roll the dice.
Can I roll to not be noticed? Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, you can definitely go ahead and if you wish, make a stealth check.
I'm gonna doom myself with this.
Do yourself with it?
It's gonna be a 1. Ah, it's not bad.
Okay. Hey. Right, yeah, so you pretty much kind of like move yourself close to the side of the church and ascend slowly so that the shadows of the rock and the stone mask your movements. As you float slowly up to the top, not doing it quickly to draw anybody's eye or attention in your direction. You manage to get to the very top of the bell tower where there is kind of an open part. Peering down, there is a spiral wooden staircase that goes down into the darkness below. An incredibly long rope attached to a large bell. Oh, and a large bell as well, ironically.
I'm gonna punch the bell. I'm not gonna punch the bell.
But what about the hunchback? Are you punching him? Because he's punching you! No,
oh, God!
Quasimodo!
I throw him from the tower. Is there a
it's
well
okay,
nearby?
It's me, Esmeralda! Okay.
Is there a well nearby?
So what's your game plan?
Yeah, I'm going to actually, instead of using these old crookedy stairs, I'm just going to use the fly thing.
Float down into the tunnel. Okay. Right, so you guys see him disappear through the bell tower and begin to descend. Alright.
Nice night, Togar.
Nice night for a church heist.
Yes, the stars look pretty tonight, Emlyn.
Do we have a song ready for this or no?
Oh, please.
Can you feel the love tonight?
No, because I'm dead.
I'm walking in the air tonight.
Tonight.
I'm about to rob a church, Tolgar and Demlin inside. Okay, so he's disappearing in. What are you doing, Theo?
I'm gonna go make a distraction.
Okay, so you said you were talking about disguising yourself as a Pelorian priest?
Yes, so I'm going to disguise myself as a Pelorian priest. Using...
By what means, sir?
Alter self. And once I saw Kyla land and start climbing around, I knew she didn't need to fly anymore, so since that's a concentration, I end her flight spell and alter
Let her
myself.
fall to her death.
Yep.
No, so is that what you're going to do?
Yes, change appearance. I transform and I decide what I want to look like.
Okay, how long are you waiting?
Well, you said we were able to...
60 feet.
You see, I mean, you see him begin to descend. I want to know how long you're going to wait after that before you do it.
No, I would wait. I'd probably wait a good, honestly, I'd probably wait a minute.
Okay, so give him plenty of time to get to the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because
I would let it go instantly.
If I hear things go wrong, I wouldn't end the spell so that she could fly out. But if I don't hear anything, I'm like, all right, she's probably hiding and waiting for the distraction. So that's when I would.
All right. Okie dokie. Now, how familiar with your spell are you?
With my spell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I transform my appearance. I decide what I look like, including my height, weight, facial features, sound of my voice, and hair.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Coloration, distinguishing characteristics.
Yeah. Am I missing something? I thought it was just a full... I could change, what I looked like, no?
Yeah, you can change what you look like, physically.
Okay, so...
I'm nervous. What's happening?
Well, I think... So what you're saying is, without saying it, is I can't change what my clothes are.
You can't change your outward appearance as such, no. You can change you... but you're still going to be
okay.
whatever you choose to look like, wearing grey robes, unless you change the robes.
Oh, so the distraction's different. You just need help. You
No.
need prayers.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm
Because it would very specifically say clothing and all that, if that was also included.
Okay, then I'm taking my robe off.
So you're naked?
I got my skivvies on.
Is he just wearing a robe?
You're a Valorian priest with skivvies.
Just give me a minute. Just go with me here, okay? Yes, I have my adult underwear on.
So a diaper?
That's not what I said. I said adult underwear.
That's why he has not to do something.
He has Depends.
And then I didn't want to say it, but okay. I have on my Depends, all right? And I'm going to make myself into a slightly younger man.
Okay. So you want to look younger?
I do want to look younger, and I just I'm pretty much just going to go like, underneath conch, and just like how you hit a randomized face in a build-a-character of any RPG.
All right.
I don't care what I look like.
So you just want to look like a younger man. Give me an age.
50.
Oh, so not that much younger than... Okay, so 50.
Well, yeah, no, there's no, like, 18-year-old, like, hotshot Doogie Howser priest around. Yeah, they're all...
Okay.
Yeah. All
right, so now you look like a sprightly 50-year-old with less facial hair, I'm guessing. Probably darker hair, maybe not as much grey. I don't know, you tell me.
Yeah. Yep,
okay.
That sounds good.
In underwear.
Uh-huh.
This is a good distraction.
And I'm going to then like burst through the door of the church.
It's greased up deaf guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't have a naked version of your token, unfortunately.
He's a hipster.
That's okay. We'll go with it.
Nipster.
Oh, you know what? Hold on a second, because
you do have.
I bet I can come up with something given half a second here.
Don't ask me why, but I do have a naked Thelonious Conch icon I've made.
There's one I made earlier.
Which pose would you like?
I know damn well I've seen
one. Full of grapes and goodies.
Grapes and goodies. Oh.
Yep. It's the other version of D&D. It's G&G. It's grapes and goodies.
Grapes and goodies.
You roleplay fruit.
Normally, whenever I don't need this particular icon, it always pops up, but now I'm actually looking for it. I won't be able to find it.
I'm so ready.
All right, let me line up the map properly. I'm the map.
And if it ever gets really intense inside,
I'm the map.
We can just cut away to the two of them sitting outside talking about the stars.
We're in the middle of the song. Around. If you cut to us. We're going through the transformation.
Okay, alrighty. So, let me change up the noise here. I must have something more appropriate for this.
We'll check in on Tolgar and Emlyn. And back to the other.
Always love you.
And then that song ends with Tolgar stabbing Emlyn, cutting out his heart.
Yeah, all right, okay. All right. In through the door charges. Thelonious Conch, no shirt on, just a diaper. Okay, so you burst in through the double doors. The four priestesses all like,
oh my god,
look up. Yes, they're all female. There's not a single male priest in here. Two of them, as you can see, are polishing and
this music,
taking care of the pews. And there's one that's standing up at the up on a plinth, which is kind of on a raised, a foot off the ground, huge big green stone disc. She is wearing the regaled headdress that would indicate that she is probably the head priestess, as they all kind of stop and look at you.
So when I burst through...
Okay, so what are you saying?
I don't know that they're women. So I burst and I go... I burst in and go, Priestley brothers, I need aid! And I'm going to look and open my eyes and see that they're all women. And say, oh, Priestley sisters, I need aid! And I'm gonna run over. I don't have control of my guy, but I'm gonna plop down on one of the pews.
Oh, here, I can fix that. I can fix that real quick. Here. We'll change you to be Thelonious Conch. There we go.
Thank you. I'm gonna traipse over and just plop down on the pew. Oh, there's such evil abound. I need help.
Okay, immediately the blonde-haired one says to the brown-haired one, "Quickly, Sister Helena, quickly!" And they rush over to you. This young man appears to come from the south. As they immediately kind of rush to you and lay their soft, gentle hands upon you. And she says, "Indeed, you have come to the right place. What ails you, brother?"
Oh, I believe that I saw some sort of a demon. I believe it. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I was out betwixt the trees out there, and all of a sudden I heard a noise. And, oh, sisters, maybe you should also come and hear the tale that I'm about to tell you. It might take all of us here to banish the demon away.
Okay.
And I'm going to be calling out to the other 2 to get them away from the back door.
All right. Go ahead and give me... I almost want to say a performance check, but give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Okay, this one does indeed come rushing over as well. And this young girl has also kind of spun around and is listening intently as she rests her arms underneath her chin on top of the pew.
Well, for the first question is, are you able to perform exorcisms?
We are all adverse with the talent to combat the evil forces of the undead, yes.
So just as an ongoing thing, or my whole plan here is just to take up as much time as possible to give Kyla as much time to do her thing.
She says, but
just as an ongoing thing.
But pray, precisely where did you see this thing?
Well, I was traveling from my hometown, which I love so much. I wanted to get out and spread the word of the good Lord himself, and I was coming in.
The good Lord? Who do you follow, brother?
I follow P-Lord, the great and powerful P-Lord. Praise be to him. As I was coming into town, I saw the holy light of your church, and as I was making my way over, I heard a rustling. There was a rustling in the forest, and as I looked over, I could sense evil. I could sense it. So I walked on over to it, and as I got close, I froze. Something had a hold of my body, and something rose up out of the bushes, floated on over to me, and I could see it. It started staring into my eyes as it held me so. And I could see fiery hellscape as it peered into my soul. And he said, "Take off your robes immediately." Because
I'm the demon of perversion, and I like to look at naked dudes. Oh my God.
I was as if he was the demon himself, I quickly disrobed in front of him, paralyzed from head to toe. And then he just kind of stared again in with his black little beady eyes. He got right up close to me and said, "You're never gonna be able to banish me from this plane." And I said, "Yes, I will, demon. I'm gonna do it." I said, "Yes, I am, demon. And I'm gonna go get friends to help me." And he said, "You'll never get me in time." And then he dashed off. He just went off and back into the forest. And so I wanted to come here as quickly as I could to see if anyone could help me, because I know I could banish him, and I know that you all could help me with it.
This is quite the tale, brother. We are all sisters of Biori, the goddess of the earth and nature and rain. Something so vile and unnatural must indeed be dealt with. But if it was indeed a demon, such as you say, I fear that myself and Sister Helena and Cassandra are, we are just sisters here. You would perhaps need to speak to Mother Harrow. She stands over there on the glistening green circlet of Beore.
Is she able to come hither? Because I just don't. He sapped all the strength from my body, and I don't know if I could make it all the way up there.
Just, Mother Harrow, come hither, come hither.
Come hither, Mother Harrow, please.
I'm not even rolling for this, it's too good. Okay. Alright, so the Reverend Mother comes slowly over. Clearly she's listened to the tale as she kind of approaches you with a bit of a look on her face. She says, this poor soul, we did not catch your name, brother.
Yes, obviously you were going to ask me that. My name is Brother Priestius, and Brother Priestius, as I said, you said you were followers of nature. Did I say it looked like it was some sort of a tree demon?
A tree demon?
Does that entice you more than it did before?
Right, with that, okay, so, Mother Harrow, she kind of, like, pushes the two sisters aside so she can get closer. She kind of comes a little closer to you, stepping between her priestesses, and she says, let me take a better look at you.
Oh, but I'm indecent, though. Don't, Mother Harrow, please, you shouldn't.
Fetch him a robe or something. Yes, Mother. As she, this one dashes off towards the back of the church.
Oh, no.
Yikes.
And goes to this side door here. Okay. Alright, she kind of looks at you, she says, so, you think it was a demon? You sure it wasn't some drunken lout?
It could have been. He caught me by such surprise. Maybe I was just paralyzed with my own fears, my own imagination. That could be it.
This conversation that you say you had with him about banishing him?
Mm-hmm.
You sure he wasn't just, well, you sure that it's not you that's underneath the influences of demons? Maybe the demons of liquor?
Madam, how dare you? I am a child of Paylor. It was never touched my lips for one moment. Not a drop, not a drip of a drop.
Alright, this one comes rushing back over with a very simple kind of plain light green kind of cassock and passes it to you so you can somewhat clothe yourself.
Oh, thank you. Oh, sisters, you've all been, and Mother, of course, you've all been so kind to just a lowly, unclothed man such as myself.
Says, yes. Are you hurt? Are you injured at all?
My pride obviously is taking quite a ding, but physically it does not. It looks like I am untouched and unharmed.
Yes. And where precisely did you say this tree demon was?
Well, tree, bush, shrub. I like I said, it was in the darkness and it caught me by such surprise. It gave me quite a fright. It was out in the forest tree area outside of town.
To the north, south, east, west?
Yes. To the north, south, east, west area. I'm all turned around. I don't know why you ask me so many questions.
Well, far be it from me to cast aspersions, but I very much doubt it was a demon that just popped out of a bush and said, take off your clothes!
Well, maybe you're right. I mean, I just thought maybe I could find some peace of mind here with all of you.
If you need a place to stay and have no money, you can sleep here on one of the pews. You don't have to make up this elaborate story.
I would never do that. I'm a follower of Pelor.
I'm not saying you're telling lies. I'm just saying that there's a very strong possibility that some of your facts are, muddled.
Yes, well, I did have a very long pray session today, and maybe I'm still kind of halfway in between realms of godliness and earthliness. So you might be right. I might have over imagined some things, but thank you for the robe. It's very kind of you. I guess I should probably take my leave then.
Well, as I said, you're welcome to stay here if you need to sleep.
No, I think oh yes, I'm feeling an inner pull, usually from the big man upstairs. He's telling me to leave and to find my own path. But I do thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Very well. Well, we do have a fine tavern. If you head out to the square to the left, if you feel the need for a place to sleep and a warm meal, I'd stay away from the drink if I were you. It has a very unpleasant name, unfortunately. We do not approve, do we, sisters? No, Mother Superior, we do not. But it is run by reasonable folk.
Well, if I could ask for just one more favor, sisters. When the demon took my clothes off of me, my purse went with it. Do you maybe have a little extra change lying around, like in the cracks of the pews or something, that I could get that meal and room with?
I'm sure we can find a few coins for a wretched soul.
Bless
Sister
you.
Sarah. And this one kind of goes running over and disappears back through the door. And after another few minutes, she comes up and hands you like 3 copper pieces and 1 silver piece. Just drops it into your hand.
Oh, thank you, sisters. Well, I don't want to overstay my welcome here, obviously, and that food is a calling for me with the new jingle. So, see y'all later. And I'm gonna start walking out.
All right. Well, apparently there's a vote for inspiration for your little actions there, and with that being said,
the How Reroll community
the vote
so unanimously.
Yeah, the vote was pretty much 100% yes. So congratulations, you have earned yourself an inspiration point, my friend. Well done.
Meanwhile,
exorcise the demons.
Pretty nice night out, huh?
Exercise the demons.
Okay. You leave, and you hear, as the door closes, you hear one of them say, "What a strange person." Meanwhile, Kyla Ward.
Yeah.
I no longer want that music. It doesn't really fit for what you're up to. Okay, so Kyla, you are all this time you have descended down inside the back part of the church. You've come down through the tower to the base. Once you get to the bottom of the stairs, there is a wooden door directly in front of you.
Okay. There's no like other ways down or anything. It's just.
No, it's basically up that you can go. Once someone comes through that door, there's an open area here at the bottom where the big bell rope is hanging. Other than that, they just spiral on up to.
Okay. I'm going to have to very quietly get through this door, I suppose. And to do that, I will cast a Zone of Silence in front of me.
Okay.
Basically, from the door forward.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm going to try and sneak through
What's
that
the radius of Zone of Silence, or the range for it?
It's 20 feet.
I think it is.
Let me go ahead and pull that up. Once I find my sheet here. It got buried in all of the goodness that is that Elorian Priestius of Westius.
Exorcise the demons. I am Priestius, the Pelorian follower type thing.
Priestius.
It's gonna haunt me forever.
Be a P-Lord, and that's what he did. That's what he did.
Yeah, that's where I went with it. I love that.
Okay. 40-foot diameter, so 20-foot radius. Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. So yep, the door opens silently. Are you just flinging it open, or what's your game plan?
No, I'm sneaking. I'm sneaking.
Right.
Still being slow.
Okay, so when you open it, it's a small corridor that goes down to a door only 20 feet ahead of you. And then there's a door to the left and a door to the right. Now, the door ahead of you, you can hear faint mumblings, which sounds like you hear a mixture of bad southern accents and females speaking.
Okay.
It actually wasn't that bad, to be honest. Very good Georgian accent. All you had to have done was say, "I declare Mr. Beauregard," and you'd have been in.
Well, I'm going to assume that's where everyone's at, and check the other rooms, yeah.
Okay, left or right first?
I'll do left first.
Okay, you open the left door. So basically it looks like this goes into a simple room with a large, long table and benches either side. At the far end of the room, it looks like there's a fireplace, and clearly this looks like where they prepare their food, kitchen / mess hall, stuff like that.
So yeah, I will check the other room then, because that one seems to not have what I need.
All right. In the other room, however, you do find a large stone slab and shelves, and there are various different vials and jars of stuff upon those shelves containing what looks like various different plants, herbs, liquids, stuff like that.
Good thing I have a degree involving these kinds of... yeah, no, I'm clueless. So, I guess it would have to be an insight bet here for me, because I would just gravitate towards, yes, that looks kind of like what I'm trying to maybe go for.
Okay. So you're looking for, I mean, yeah, you don't have, I mean, it would probably be, you could either use medicine, if you wanted to do that, but insight, possibly to give you a blind guess.
Okay. So, yeah, I would probably do medicine to try and figure that out. Here we go. How do I do on my random guess?
Okay.
Average person's worth. Okay.
So as you go and start looking at some of the herbs, some of the liquids, some of the stuff, some of it smells kind of pleasant and stuff like that. Glancing around, you can also see what does look like some tools laid out meticulously and neatly on a table. That could possibly be used for embalming or something like that. What of these plethora of things you need, you probably don't know, but there are a array of things you could grab at. So what do you want to do?
I'm going to grab the tools and basically the good-smelling bottles around, I think, the tools, because that would be most reasonable. And you say a plethora. How many pounds is a plethora?
Well, no, it's more like how many jars of different things. I mean, there's probably a good dozen or so jars and probably five or six different liquid vials.
Oh, well, in that case, I should probably just take the lot, which is awful.
Okay, so I mean, you know, jars being yay big, and there's 12 of those. How do you want to carry those out?
I'm gonna put them in my bedroll.
Okay.
And put my bedroll back in my backpack.
Well, the bedroll probably hangs off the bottom of your backpack and is, you know, yay big around and. So I mean, it depends. You could probably put some of them in your backpack, but I doubt you could fit maybe more than 6 at the most in the backpack. Okay.
So are any of these obviously not embalming fluid?
You're not an embalmer. I mean, there's several of them that are obviously not embalming fluid. Whether they're used in the embalming process, though.
Okay. Tools and pack. 6 of them in the bedroll. 3 in arm.
And then, of course, it just depends on how you plan on getting out. On whether or not you need your hands and arms to be able to climb or do whatever.
Which I was told to trust in the undead.
Yeah, that's not a stupid idea.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess I'd have to put at least 3 of them in my pack then, because somebody took my cloak and wrapped it around their head and then didn't take the option that I gave them. So, yeah, kind of bitterly, I'm going to have to put the rest in my pack there.
Okay, so yeah, as I said, you can probably get the most sick. See, the thing is with your bedroll is if you unroll that to put them in, now you've got more like a huge sack, right?
Yeah.
So you've got a big sack containing some, and then the rest in the pack. So you could probably do it, but it would make it incredibly difficult for you to attempt to climb down or do anything like that. So
I just need to get up the stairs and flag them once I do so. So
yeah,
I'm gonna Santa's pack it.
All right. So you
and then
scurry all your way back up to the top. Okay. Meanwhile, that's all going on. Emlyn and Tolgar, as you loiter underneath the bush, down below.
We'd probably be listening, honestly. So, what do we hear?
Well, how are you listening inside the church?
Oh, I'm not listening inside the church. I'm just looking up at the bell tower for any sign of Kyla.
Okay. What are you listening for, Tolgar? When you say you're listening?
I'm listening for signs that I should bust in there.
Okay. You're listening for somebody inherently screaming caca, caca at the top of their voice.
Pretty much. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, all in all, it's probably a good 5 or 10 minutes before, much of this has transpired. By that time, you're still sitting there under the tree. And it's probably closer to 15 to 20 minutes before eventually you see Kyla peering down and waving from the top of the bell tower.
Emlyn.
See?
Up there.
And then I'm going to wave back and cast telekinesis.
Jump.
Telekinesis! Oh my god.
I am attempting to grab Kyla, if I can only see her head. I'm grabbing her head.
And Radovan.
Yeah, I'm basically just grabbing Kyla and lifting her up and floating her down.
Okay. Are you attempting to resist? As basically suddenly around your neck and head, an incredible amount of unseen force just grabs hold of you and begins to pull upwards.
No, I mean, like, I'm making as much of myself visible to him, right?
I'm grabbing whatever I can see. Whatever I can see.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not just my head.
I'm just going by what he said.
Yeah.
Because I saw Satch do this, so I was like, okay.
I was like, hey, it's me. Well, yeah, you can only see my neck and head because it's...
Right. But I mean... Are you attempting to resist this sudden...
I'm not gonna resist being lifted, if that's the case. I might resist my head being popped off, but...
Well, I mean, it's all I can tell you is it's an incredibly unpleasant feeling, because it's not exactly like being lifted slowly off the ground by flight. This is basically being grabbed by sheer physical force and being wrenched from the floor. Okay, so yeah, you lift him up and snatch him from the top of the ceiling.
I do. I lift her up, move her over the bell tower to where the ground is below, and then just
squirrel
down. I'm not being discreet or stealthy or anything like that. Just you down.
All right. Okay. So you come down rather rapidly and then hit the ground. Not hard enough to hurt, but in a very unpleasant and solid way.
Kyla, careful. You almost got my boots.
It will be next time.
I told you I had you.
Yes. Okay, let's
always trust Emlyn.
Find somewhere discreet for this stuff. Somebody go get him.
All right, I'll go get him.
Is that I wouldn't be able to know. Was there like an obvious good hiding place on the way into town?
An obvious good hiding place on the way into town?
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's dark. There's tons of crops of trees dotted around. There's an orchard that you've seen. There's a decrepit old graveyard that you've seen. There's a number of places you could definitely scurry off to perform your wicked rites, if that's what you're up to.
Yeah. Because I think we were going to do it and then dump it.
So where do you want to go? I mean, as you came into town, to the right-hand side over the hedgerows, you did see what appeared to be a fairly large wooded area. if you want to go back there.
I like that idea.
Well, I think
Sounds good.
we're gonna wait for Thelonious, right?
Yeah.
See,
Why?
bumbling back.
Don't want to.
Okay, so you want to wait here. Yeah, Thelonious comes out about 30 minutes later.
Yeah, I'm dressed back in my normal robe, by the way.
Okay.
I'm not naked
Gets
anymore.
his clothes back on.
And I'll kind of walk up. Did you get everything, Kyla?
Everything. Yes.
Yeah, good. Success. So it was a heist. We did a heist.
We did a heist.
We did a heist. Don't
Not enough cops online.
Sorry.
No cops on that. Okay.
No, we succeeded in the heist. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, happy day. That's fantastic.
You did quite well from what I heard. A lot of chatter.
Yes. Well, did you expect anything less from old Thelonious?
Should we probably not be next to the place?
Yes, we should probably not be next to the place, which is why I was talking hiding spot. Where should we go?
Well, embalming. There's the graveyard.
Okay, the graveyard. Let's hide in the graveyard with our corpse and.
What? Why don't we just get a room and do it there? No.
Well, I don't want to walk in with this grab bag of goodies. That might seem a little suspicious.
Ho, ho, ho!
That could be your
It is that time of month.
Seasonal joke.
Merry Aprilmas!
All right, I guess the graveyard is fine, but what if...
If anyone shows up, we kill them.
Okay, the graveyard is closed after hours. We're fine.
All right, if you insist.
We'll bury them with the other corpses.
All right, so to the graveyard, that's the way you want to go?
I think so. There's a wall built around it, so
Uh,
something to hide behind.
Okay, well, once you get down here to the graveyard, you see like big yew trees planted around it. It's decrepit. Like most of the wall is broken down. It is clearly a very, very, very old cemetery. You can see most of the gravestones themselves are either worn smooth or cracked or broken. There's clearly some new ones there. But again, this dates back way beyond what most of these buildings do. Right across from the graveyard here, there's like a building that has big open windows that are shining light out across the street that illuminates the graveyard gate very clearly.
If we go around back, perhaps. Can we tell what this is over here? Is that like...
Okay, so yeah, if you guys want to go around the back, upon doing so, yes, you find that there is another large wooded area right behind the graveyard.
That'll do it.
Okay. So who here can do it?
Okay, so you guys skulk off into the trees. Again, this is a deciduous wood, so it's like oak, ash, beech, those sort of trees. You know, it's not like pine trees. So it's pretty thick and offers plenty of cover for people doing sinister things in the dark.
Do we bump into another group of embalmers?
Were you embalming here? Sorry, we'll pop down the road and we'll embalm somebody else.
Okay, we were actually wondering if we could hire you.
We don't know what we're doing, actually, so...
We're here for the embalming.
No, ironically, there is not an embalmers convention going on in the woods.
Alright, so I'm going to Google how to embalm a corpse.
Okay. Emlyn, I'm already very far ahead of you on that one. Thelonious has become very good.
Thanks for the host.
I was just wondering I don't even know what embalming
Okay,
means.
so yeah, what do you guys want to do? How do you want to go about with this random assortment of herbs and chemicals and liquids? How do you want to embalm Emlyn? Just tell me how this is going to go down, because I'm just really curious. Bearing in mind, of course, none of you are priests. None of you are particularly interested in performing last rites or burial like that. So this is going to come from...
Insight?
Knowledge?
I'm going to say, unless any of you actually have knowledge, religion, or, you know, if you have religion as a proficient skill,
use your inspiration point.
I'll let you roll on it. If not, no. This isn't the sort of thing that the average person would just
okay.
randomly know how to do, I don't think.
Oh, this is a really interesting point in your life.
So
I have
tell us how to
religion as
involve you.
proficiency. So
if you have religion as proficiency, I would allow you a roll on it. If you don't have it, if you're not proficient with it, I'd say you're not going to roll because you just wouldn't. It's just not something you would know.
okay.
Fortunately,
Okay.
in your sick and twisted studies of bad things, okay, so you have a fairly good understanding of the fact that you need to remove all of the internal squishy organs and stuff like that. Generally speaking, in this day and age, they stuff the cavities with various different fragrant herbs and spices and all this sort of stuff. Now, generally speaking, they don't worry too much about trying to preserve the corpse as such, so much as just making it so that once it goes in the ground and prior to, it doesn't reek so much. So you can kind of look at the array of things and realize, yep, stick some of that in me, some of that, mix some of that in there, douse my skin with, rub this on my skin, and all this sort of stuff.
So with that in mind, Emlyn's getting naked.
Ooh.
Taking all my clothes off, you see me in my horrid undead.
Oh,
glory.
so nasty.
Okay.
Shriveled.
Yeah, so once he takes all of his clothes off, other than the fact that he has
Just like he's
a
sleeping.
really bad sew job on his stomach, yes, he is grey, pallid, his muscles are starting to fade, visibly. So he's starting to become... He kind of looks... I hate to say it, but he kind of looks now like Thelonious probably does when he's not wearing any clothes. He's just rotting, just slowly but surely disappearing.
Ouch.
So I obviously still have some blood in me, right? I didn't drain entirely.
Well, most of that is probably pretty much dried at this point.
Okay.
All your blood within your veins and stuff is pretty much nothing more than a dried, black thick tar.
So really, it's just heart and lungs that I would, right? Because you're not gonna cut in my head or anything, right?
No, generally speaking, with
lungs.
the type of undead that you have, it's all keep the head on the shoulders, and you'll probably keep ticking.
Ticking, right? So, I'm just gonna basically say you're gonna incise me, right? And then retract all the top bits.
Yeah, not being alive, you're more kind of just a malformed spirit with your own brain and memories that is occupying your rotting corpse. So the other stuff is just you don't need.
Okay.
As long as you got a shell to walk around in, and all the time you're in that shell, if it gets hurt, you take damage.
Okay. So I'm gonna undo the stitching, and perform as much of this as I can. Yeah. And perform
Reach
as
up?
much of the.
Yeah, go up and below. Yeah.
And if I vomit directly into the corner.
Yeah, take it out. And
Do what no one has ever
me.
done before in their life, as Junk Farmer just suggested. Do a self-embalming.
Self-embalm. No one's been able to do that, yeah.
That'd be a very unique skill.
As Tolgar, I will take notes of this process so I can remember it for next time.
Okay.
For next time, Emily
Next
needs
time I
this.
need to embalm one of my dead friends.
Which you killed.
Next time I kill a friend and want to keep him about. All right.
You never know. You never
But
know
yeah,
what
so
might
long
happen.
story short, you're going to go through with Emlyn's instructions. You're basically going to embalm him in a rudimentary fashion.
Yep.
And then
Alright.
stitch me up better.
More betterer.
More better.
What's wrong with my whip stitch, huh?
You don't want it leaking.
All right, well, through the process, you're going to absorb another 5 points of damage.
Alright, well, that's coming out of Tolgar's back. So.
My walking battery.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kinda.
Yeah, so at the end of that process, I am switching you. And you're going to accept it. So that's 3 bad.
I'm going to suck it up and take it. Okay.
Yep. Okay. And yeah,
Oh,
fun times. Jesus. So dumb.
They're going to get infected. Those scratches are going to get infected. He's a rotting, nasty, disgusting, disease-ridden corpse, and he's scratching you. Roll for disease. You have you have tetanus and gangrene.
Oh,
And your back falls off.
oh man, my back. my wolf.
And Lockjaw. Sure, let's throw Lockjaw in there as well. That's a pretty good one.
And Lockjaw.
And thrush. And a yeast infection.
So yeah, we're going to use all the embalming ingredients that we could find from the jars and the herbs and just stuff me.
Okay, so you stuff him full of all the pleasant things, rub his skin down with the liniment and the ointments to make it kind of more palatable and less dry. Basically, you moisturize him from toe to top. And at the end, he still looks absolutely terrible, but he doesn't smell anywhere near as bad.
Got a little shine to him.
Yeah.
A little twinkle in his eye.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna take the thing that you moisturize me with and put it in my backpack because we're gonna do that. Obviously,
a bit.
Okay. All right.
And I'll put my clothes back on.
Okay, so now you have embalmed Emlyn. The smell is less of a problem now. Honestly, it is now more manageable and a little sprinkling of lavender puff. Maybe, stuff his pockets with some rose petals or something periodically. You can probably get away without too many people retching at the very sight of him.
I
now,
smell better than all of you.
That doesn't, but that doesn't necessarily solve the fact that he still looks like shit. But of course, his hood can cover, So, yeah.
That would just be a creepy guy now, not a creepy, smelly guy.
Scary German guy.
Yeah, just say I have leprosy, guys. It's all good.
Yeah, because that's bound to make you more welcoming. He has an incredibly dangerous and terminal contagious disease. So here he is in the tavern. Say hi, everybody. Okay. Once you have done this ritual, what do you want to do now?
Bury him.
Hey, this is a fun evening.
Bury him.
Robbing churches, bombing dead folk. What a fun night.
We're gonna leave the excess stuff here, I imagine, right? Like, we're not going to take it with us.
Okay.
Yeah, probably bury it or something, just to...
You want to just basically dig a hole and bury all the remaining stolen embalming equipment and stuff here. What a strange crime this is going to be to... We woke up and we noticed all our embalming stuff was gone.
Did anything strange happen? Yeah, there was a priest.
A naked priest ran in here, and about the same time, somebody liberated all our embalming stuff. It must have been him.
His name was Priestius.
Oh, we should have seen right through that one. Damn our stupid, pious brains. Okay. So, yeah. What is your game plan now?
To the tavern?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you do that?
Yeah, now we can successfully enter a tavern without
having to leave Emlyn outside and peer through the window.
Issue.
All I know is that this whole party probably smells something fierce, right? We haven't bathed or anything.
Yeah, there's a difference between having a bit of a gamey odor than your rotting, pallid corpse.
It'll smell like food and drinks. It'll be fine.
Okay.
We can pass it off to Thelonious. He's old. He has that old man smell, right?
Yeah, I'll say it was me.
Alrighty then. Okay, so now you're a lot closer. You can see the name of... Well, before we go in the tavern, I'll leave you on the outside first, and then I'll show you the... We go ahead and scale it properly to my map.
What a beautiful tavern.
This is a pretty one.
Oh, what a lovely tavern. Very nice. What a splendid tavern, that. Okay, here is the sign to the tavern. Let me go ahead and show you all.
Oh no! What did you name it?
Okay, it is called the Silent Woman Inn. The sign clearly says it is a picture of a woman with her head removed, and the slogan underneath says, "Since the woman is quiet, let no man breed a riot."
Hey.
Damn.
I want to know the name of the alcohol that they hate so much.
No,
All
I
right.
think it was the inn.
Yeah, it's the name of the inn.
Okay, so you guys can enter into the establishment at your leisure.
You're gonna like this place.
All right, should have access. So I'm not bloody moving you. Move your damn selves.
Alrighty, here we go.
Okay.
Step in and look
I'm just gonna be
around.
like, sure, right this way, everybody, come on, right on. And then as soon as I step through the threshold, I'm just gonna shut up and keep moving my mouth.
All right. So once you enter, it is considerably packed. There is an awful lot of tables stuffed in here. The stairs in the far left-hand corner obviously lead up to the floors above. A fireplace with a huge bear rug is over to the left. The bar is dead center ahead of you. Over to the right, there seems to be like a little raised area that's kind of, there's actually like a rail, and you can see from here, you can kind of see up there, there's like a balcony area with stairs leading up to it. The tavern itself is full of all manner of people, from lowly commoners, simple townsfolk, to those that are clearly more wealthy and well-to-do. As soon as you wander in, the innkeeper that is standing behind the bar, he's a fairly tall, burly gentleman. He's actually about 6'6", quite a monster of a man. Not as big as Tolgar, but probably bigger than most. He has a balding kind of look at the top of his head. He's got little wisps of hair and a thick black rim all the way around, kind of a Captain Picard type haircut. Wearing his apron, he's in the middle of pouring a very generous portion of ale into a large flagon and slings it across the bar to the person in front of him. You can see a couple of waitresses scurry between the tables as quickly as they can, as well as a serving boy who kind of darts across in front of you to go ahead and serve this table right here. They all kind of glance up and look at you, but other than a few kind of hands, you see a few people gesture and point in your direction. They don't seem particularly shocked or overly obscured of the fact that you guys have just walked into this tavern.
Alright, so they deal with the rougher crowd. Okay. Where should we sit? Let's see.
Just maybe get the room.
Oh, right.
Well,
I guess we don't have to hang out.
The raised section, if you want to sit and eat, you probably get there.
No. We don't need you sitting around here for so long.
Well, that's why it would be up there,
Oh.
far
Maybe
away.
It's for like VIP only.
Yeah, that could be us.
Do you?
Why not?
Excuse me. Barkeep.
Okay, the barkeep smiles and looks at you with a big toothy grin. He says, "Good evening. What can I get you, my good sir?"
4 rooms, please.
4 rooms, fine. And will you be dining this evening? Having a beverage or two before you retire?
I'm gonna turn around and look at Thelonious behind me.
Are you not hungry,
eating?
Tolga?
I'm always hungry.
Well then, tell a man yes.
Yes.
Well, excellent, excellent. Well, I can take care of the rooms now if you
go up
like.
here.
Oh, be my guest. 4 rooms. We charge 6 silver a night, so that would be 24 silver or 2 gold 4 silver if you prefer. I need you to pay that in advance and then find yourself a table and my good lady wife will be over to take your order as quickly as I can get her attention.
Okay, I'll set down 2 gold and then start walking up these stairs.
Sir.
Yes, I don't. It's fine. He doesn't understand. It's fine. I'm gonna take out the money that I was given by the church.
What?
And put it down on the table.
That still leaves us a little short, I'm afraid.
I'm just getting the rest of it out. Give me a moment, please. I'm an old man. And I'm gonna reach in and put two more silver or 3 more silver on the table.
Okay.
Which would be 2 gold for silver.
He's like 2 gold, 4 silver, and a few copper pieces for a tip. Very, very kind of you, sir. Very much appreciated.
Yes. I'll turn around to the rest of the group. Oh, okay, never mind. They're up there already.
Emily's
working our way up.
okay.
Yeah, teleported up there.
Yeah, so once you go up there, there's two fairly well-to-do individuals that are puzzling over some strategic board, deep in thought. To the side of them, there's a table with 2 plates of food that is still slowly steaming, but it seems like that they're not really overly interested in their food at this moment, and you guys have occupied the corner table. Alrighty.
Okay. Well,
Okay, after a little while, this woman walks up and stands next to you with a big smile. And she reaches into her apron and pushes a piece of parchment out onto the table in front of you.
ooh, a menu.
Anything to say about it, perhaps?
Ooh.
Oh, so much blood coming out.
Oh my god.
Okay, she smiles at you and she says,
Oh, she can't speak. That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
Wow, they're really going for that, for the theme here. Hmm?
Did they take out the tongue? Like.
okay, when you do that, she goes,
Okay.
Okay.
and then
No,
she
I'm
says,
fine.
then she kind of looks at you and she says,
Baby? No babies allowed?
She said she cannot. She can't speak because she couldn't when she was a baby.
Just,
Well, that was it, huh?
So the rest of it's just a joke then, around that? Seems a little cruel.
Oh, you poor woman. Are you the owner of this establishment? Yes, you.
and she points to a ring on her finger.
You're married.
Just-
You're married.
Married to the owner. Did the owner name this place before you were married?
Oh my goodness.
Ah! I see. Oh, good. Well.
At least you got the namesake.
Oh,
Yikes.
she's so sad. Anyway, it was looking good, huh, guys?
Oh, how's stew and bread?
Yum, yum, yeah.
Ms. Mesra,
all
take
of
care.
that, please.
Oh gosh.
I mean, I guess I'll take a house stew and bread myself. Sounds lovely. Thank you.
She looks at Emlyn and she's like,
Yeah, he's a bit shy. But not
But
been feeling well. ever since
He's
we
he's on a diet. You see.
but he'll have the porter and I'll have the hazelwood pale ale.
and she kind of waves towards to get waves frantically her hands to get Kyla's attention, and she's like,
Oh, yes, food would be good.
Are you allowed to talk, Kyla?
I am, thank you.
"You're allowed to talk."
But then,
mean,
just
you
as
are
a
a
joke,
woman.
I'm gonna hold up the menu and I'm just gonna point at the house stew and bread.
Okay. And then she looks at Tolgar and
I want sausage casserole.
That's
And Wow. House ale.
All right.
Wow.
She says,
Thank you.
and she wanders off down the stairs after taking your order.
Do you think the tower is the mansion on top of the hill, guys?
It could be, but was that very upsetting to anyone else? Or was that just, like, no, I don't.
Really.
I don't care about this sort of thing, but for some reason it just really hit home for me on that one. Don't know why, but it really did.
I thought it was all fine.
Let's just see if there was ever a place I would cause a riot.
Something to keep in mind for later. To address your original question, Torga, possibly. I don't know. Maybe that demon was using an older name or was mistaken somehow. Possibly, I don't see how it could be. But
at the very least,
demon said in the shadow of Morden's Hollow, so maybe it's beyond in the shadow of the hill.
Yes, could be.
If anything, if there's a place of power here, DeWint probably stopped by. So at the very least, we could ask for
There's
his name.
the oddly large circle in the middle of town that struck up a bit of a fancy. I mean, I don't know much of these places of power, but if this were, say, a hollow belonging to Morden at some point, or perhaps one of our demon's friends, not to say that so loud, just because there's a microphone here, but then perhaps if this is a hollow belonging to Morden, or a previously called Morden's Hollow, that might have a different original use, or that mansion could be it, I suppose.
I mean, it's a good place to start, at least.
Should we ask about it or just go up to it tomorrow?
I always like to at least inquiry a few things, to sort of get a bit of information before we just walk in blindly.
Well, don't ask the woman.
She might be able to draw something, or write. Like
we'll have one of those nuts.
It would probably be best to just ask the bartender if he's ever met a man named Porthen DeWint.
Okay.
Yes, but I don't like him.
Why?
There's a series of reasons that you might not understand as you've got no capacity for it.
Explain anyway.
Yeah, me too. You seem pretty nice.
He seems to celebrate an unfortunate thing to befall his own wife, and I don't know. It just strikes me as unfair, which normally doesn't bother me, but
see, that's what I'm saying. Normally, that sort of thing doesn't get me either, but something about this one.
I think it more falls along the lines of since it's. I don't know. I guess it strikes a chord at being so unfair, and she can't really do anything about it, or chooses not to because it's just simpler that way or something.
I know what we do.
The entire imagery of this place is her with no head. If she fights, I think... I don't know.
Hyla, I know what we'll do then. We'll go into their sleeping quarters tonight when they go to sleep, and we'll cut out his tongue.
Oh.
As much as I really love the irony, we don't need the notoriety at the moment. Maybe when all is said and done with this town, we'll consider...
I mean,
I do like that plan. I do like it.
We could cut off his head.
Emmeline,
and then have him, holding it.
Is this what we have to look forward to for the rest of our time together?
The trouble with this is, that's a little incriminating of her, isn't it?
We could kill her then, too.
That's not the point.
Solve her problems.
It would be a murder-suicide.
Emlyn. I would say have a heart, but we just removed it from your body. So.
I don't understand the point of your consternation regarding this situation.
Well, it's not got much of a point. It's kind of part of our conversation here, is it? It's more just a feeling that comes from it. Which, again, you're beyond capacity.
Yeah, feeling things.
Yes, this is more of a team-building exercise here. Sharing things with one another. Having a soundboard, you know.
That was a little too close to the situation. That was.
So you feel bad but don't want to do anything about it.
Absolutely. Welcome to life.
All right. Okay. So, she returns with a tray full of various different beverages, and she goes ahead and puts your house ale and your pale ale and your drinks down, and the sausage casserole and the bowls of bread and the bowls of stew and big chunks of fresh baked bread.
So when she finishes, I'm just going to say, Miss,
Yes.
Do you hate your husband? You love him.
It's such a wife answer.
Do you want to join a tribe? Tolgar here is a great lover.
You have wide hips.
And she's kind of red. And she goes,
Hey, Shaq, can you be my wingman in a bar next time I go, by the way? Do you want to be part of his tribe? He's a great lover.
Shaggy, you are dangerous, but you can be my wingman anytime.
Can your husband please come talk to us? We have some questions.
What you do?
Is he too busy? Can you just go over and take his place for a while? How about for a gold piece?
That's just no. It's okay. It's really okay. We'll,
Okay.
we can ask around elsewhere.
Have you heard the name Porthanto Winds?
Okay. No, thank you.
Goodbye.
Oh, well then piss off.
Do you know if the mansion on top of the hill?
I think she left.
Oh, she did. Oh, I thought she was. Sorry. I was.
Yeah, she's gone. She's gone.
All right, never mind.
Get back here, you deaf!
Yeah, no. I don't know.
I'm gonna shoot her.
I shoot her.
So as these guys start eating, I'm just going to stand up from where I'm sitting and just look out amongst the people.
Okay.
That's so creepy.
And I'm really looking for anyone who looks scholarly or maybe old.
This guy looks kind of like a Wraith King.
Old. I mean, there's a few people that look fairly old. There's a couple of old men sitting at this table here. There is indeed a grey-haired man with his back to you here who seems to be sitting with a dwarf. Other than that, from there, some of them are wearing like headpieces or hats or cloaks and stuff. So, and many of them have their back to you, so you can't really tell their age.
So I'm gonna be standing for an uncomfortable amount of time before I sit back down.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna say there are some old people down there, Thelonious.
Yes.
They're your type of people.
Why did you address me only?
Go join their party.
Go congregate with your friends.
Either you or Kyla should talk to them about what we need to know.
Not? Oh. I get it.
I'll do more. I'll do more for this adventure, sure. Make the old man do it. I can understand. Do you want me to go now?
The most personable.
Is food really that important to you?
Actually, that's probably true, and that's a very disturbing thought, Solgar. I am the most personal of the group. That's not good.
It's It's really not.
It's that sweet, decrepit old man thing you've got going on.
Yeah.
You have that granddad vibe.
Yeah, no, you like to play along and play. I'm going to take notes.
It works really well
anyone
until
asks-
it comes to little kids, and then it's not
If
so...
anyone asks, you just have trouble walking, okay? I'm just going to, like, grab his arm and, like, help him down the stairs.
Okay. You're putting on the
Together,
ruse
Emlyn.
de guerre that he is even more decrepit than he really is. God, what a stretch. Okay. Alright.
I can grab us both. Haha.
So you waltz together down to the lower chambers of the bar. Okay.
Where do you want to go, Theo?
Set me down to by the gentleman that Emlyn pointed out.
It's the ones in the middle, right?
These two old guys
No, I
over
think
here,
it's.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, over there. Sorry.
Yep. Then I'll escort him, and then just boot the chair out of the way.
And I'll plop down on the
stool?
Exasperated. Yeah.
All right.
Exasperation.
The two elderly gentlemen kind of look up. And one of them squints at you. Evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. My colleagues and I were up at the VIP section of the tavern, and we are on a great, long, perilous journey to try to find something that we would hope you would have some information about. Morden's Hollow. Have you heard of this place?
Morden's Hollow?
Morden's Hollow.
Can't
Yeah.
say that I have. What about you? What did he say? He said, have you heard of Morden's Hollow? I have. Morden's, what is it? Hollow?
Yes, yes.
Don't think I have. Doesn't ring a bell.
All right.
Is it around here?
We don't know. We're hoping it is. Do you, by any chance, know what the mansion area up top of the hill is called? If that has.
Oh, you don't want to go up there.
Why not?
Well, and he points across the room to this gentleman in the far corner. Why don't you have a word with Sir Beric about that? He'll give you plenty of reasons not to go up there.
Sir Beric, you say? Who is he?
Sir Ethan Beric. He was
yes.
a young, a knight. Was a knight, yes. Was. He went up there. In his youth.
Just call him old.
Oh, he's not as venerable as us, by any means, and he's quite sprightly. Well, in years, anyway.
What do you mean?
The mansion at the top of the hill used to belong to a wizard. Of various wind branch, his name was.
Various Wind Branch?
Oh, on various Winder branch.
Alright, so I heard the close.
And, 3 weeks ago, he burned his house down. Up in flames. Bright green flames. 3 days the flames burned. And then, because he and all of his servants believed to have been trapped alive inside and burned to death, so Sir Beric and some of the others went. But everyone was too scared to venture inside, so Sir Beric went in all by himself to find the remains of those that died. And then he came out. And you probably want to talk to him about the rest of that.
And you
I'm really enjoying your story, though.
Well, no. I wouldn't want to say. Personal. Very personal, yes.
And you say this happened just a few days ago?
No, 3 weeks ago.
It burned for 3. Gotcha.
But I can tell you the man that was inside
on various Winterbranch. If anybody here in town knew where your hollow is, it would have been him.
And where did he go? He didn't perish in the flames, did he?
Well, again, talk to Sir Beric, because he never found him.
Thank you for your time. What was your name?
You can call me Reynolds. Reynolds Smythe.
Reynolds Smythe. And your friend?
This is Harold.
Harold.
Harold Brunswick.
Oh, I had hopes.
It was Priestius.
Harold's a little hard of hearing.
That's all right. I believe we've got all the information we need. We'll go talk to Sir Beric. Thank you so much for your...
The pointy hat and the robes and the big stick. You wouldn't happen to be a wizard, would you?
Me? No, I'm a sheep herder.
A strange attire for a sheep herder? Not very practical.
Well, not necessarily. It's very light. It lets you run around, and when one broke free of the flock, you're able to chase after it, not be too encumbered.
You really must know he fancies himself a sort of adventurer. Come along, then. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up and start helping him away.
All right.
Sir Beric likes to be called Old Sir Beric.
That's a strange.
I don't believe you at all. Nobody likes to be called that.
Well, he doesn't. But just say it anyway. Say it anyway. Go on. It'll really get under his skin.
You're trying to get me in trouble. I do not appreciate that. That's a nice conversation we had.
Well, you're not very fun, are you?
I'm very much fun. I just don't like insulting people to their face.
That's not an insult. You're old. I'm old. Look at him. He must be 60.
Yes, do that thing.
Anyway, so let's come on, Kyla. Let's get over to the other table. Talk to normal Sir Beric.
Hello, normal Sir Beric. What is that supposed to mean? Well, it's the alternate to calling you old, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Normal Sir Beric. Just gonna go ahead and help you along here. Found out if you hold Alt and press the arrow key, you move very little. Get us through this better.
I'm down. I'm sitting.
That's it. The dwarf's attacking you. You just tipped over. You just smashed his ale mug all over the table. Okay, so you walk over.
Yes.
Right as you walk over, the dwarf is like. You see him kind of like.
Is the dwarf Sir Beric, or is the...
Well, the dwarf's glaring at you.
Okay.
At the table, there's basically 3 empty mugs already. And the 2 that they're just sipping on, and the dwarf just finished off his last one. And as that happens, you see him snap his fingers and indicate that he wants more.
Little off question here, but is the dwarf beautiful?
Depends on you. Well, I mean, to some, I'm sure. It depends on your taste. I couldn't tell you.
Yes, okay.
I mean, he's a stunty, armored, bearded, gruff-looking dwarf, which is very attractive to the right people, I'm sure.
Okay. Thank you.
To the men. That's a female dwarf.
The beard gives you something to hold on to. So, okay. So the other man, as I said, he does look to be in his 50s, 60s or whatever. Well-dressed. Big black coat, and he does have what looks like a fine sword hanging off of his belt. He just looks at you and he says, well, good evening.
Good evening to you as well. Sir Beric, I presume?
I am Sir Beric.
Good evening. I am Thelonious, and this is my aide, Kyla.
Your aide?
Yeah, she helps me get around.
Well, how old are you, young lass? I've not seen you in this tavern before.
I haven't been here. Been traveling.
Oh, really? Where have you travelled to? Do you like travelling? I enjoy travelling myself.
You? Make me a little. You have to excuse me. I'm feeling a little shy. I'm eyeing the dwarf just a little bit.
Right, the dwarf. You kind of see the dwarf. It's kind of right shoulder and leg move, and then you hear a loud boom underneath the table, and Barrett's like, "Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Please excuse me. I hadn't noticed you in the tavern before. I was just being polite. What can we do for you?"
Yes. We were going to inquire about the incident that happened up at the mansion a few weeks ago.
Right. She says, yes, a very unpleasant business. The silly old codger, the wizard up there, he appears to have somehow had some kind of accident, I would think. There was green flames as the mansion went up in smoke. It was so fast it was engulfed in no time at all. The town was little prepared to be able to react. By the time we got up there, the flames were engulfed. We could hear the screams of the servants inside as they burnt to death, I'm assuming.
Yes, so sad. But what I wanted to...
Well, no, it was indeed very sad.
Yeah, oh, yes, absolutely. We mourn for them. The wizard, you said you did never actually... I've heard that you'd never found the body or any traces?
On various, no,
Yes.
We never found any bodies as such.
Not the servants or anyone else?
No, not any bodies. They were, I'm assuming, incinerated in the fires.
Gore, do I know anything that would make a green flame, especially with a wizard?
It's not natural, obviously. There are chemicals that would burn a green flame, but you need an incredible amount of them to make an entire mansion appear to be on fire from green, with green flames. So, there's a fairly good chance that there was something magical involved.
Okay.
Of course, if a wizard's, if a accomplished wizard's study, house, tower, manor, whatever went up in flames, not unnecessarily unexpected to have possibly magical things that got engulfed in the flames that might have gone up with it.
I apologize if this is crass of me, but the older gentleman over there, well, they wanted me to make a joke at your expense about your age, which I refused to do.
They would, wouldn't they?
Yes, they did. They would, and they did. And I did not appreciate it, and I, as you noticed, I didn't bring it up initially. I bring it up now only to ask, what context does that hold?
It doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant, to be honest. But is there anything else we can help you with? Were you just curious as to what happened to the old manor?
Yes, you can help me by telling me exactly what you don't want to be telling me right now, because that does seem like it could be very relevant to the situation. Especially don't you want to possibly figure out what happened up there?
No, I absolutely have no interest in figuring out what happened up there anymore at all. I tried that, you see.
Yes, and I have a feeling that it possibly aged you unnaturally.
And how would you know that?
Oh, I didn't. I just guessed, and you sort of give it away right now.
Yes. Prior to 3 weeks ago, I was 27.
So, was there something in there that aged you, or did a time lapse? Sort of a thing. Like, when you got out with it later?
All I'm going to tell you is this. Don't go to the manor. I know you're going to, because I can see it on your face.
That's like saying, don't touch the button.
But for my own conscience, I'm telling you, do not go. I doubt you have the ability to be aged 30 years and still live. You going to that mansion will be the death of you. Don't go there. You either, young lass. It would be such a shame for you to age so heinously. Believe me, the shock to your system, it's taken me 2 weeks to recover.
Well, but see, that's why we need...
Wait, what's it?
It's done.
Sorry.
What happened there is done. If people stay well clear of it and leave it alone, no harm will befall anybody.
It's like a dangerous thing to have.
The gates are closed. No one needs to go there.
What was it that aged you? Was it did you encounter an artifact, some sort of spectral being? What was it that catalyzed the aging process?
It wasn't a spectral being. It was spectral beings. All of them, you see. All of them. And I think that's probably a fairly good place for us to leave it right there.
So many questions!
For the night!
So many questions.
Hi there, I'm Gorbad. Welcome to the Orc's Nest. I'm the Dungeon Master here on How We Roll, and if you'd like to follow me personally, you can do so on Twitter, @Gorbad. Check out thedmblog.com for all things Dungeon Master and Dungeons & Dragons related. And of course, you can follow me on twitch.tv/Gorbad. Also, guys, don't forget to keep up with all things How We Roll. Follow us on Twitter @HowWeRoll. Check out the website www.howweroll.com, and make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. Cheers, guys.
Hi, I'm the Satchmo. I speak for the trees. Thank you for watching How We Roll. If you want to see some more of me, you can follow me on Twitch and Twitter @Satchmo. If not, I guess I'll just see you next episode. I love you. Take care.
What's up, you guys? It's the Snuggler here, and I am back for my second How We Roll campaign. I've been given some guidelines. One is to not name the character that I'm playing. Of course, probably going to kill my character at some point. And two is to keep this as short as possible. Jane is just so lazy. Oh. So with that being said, so happy to be on my second campaign for How We Roll. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so @MaddieSweetTweet. That's pretty much all I use. So check you there. If not, I'm always here playing for you guys.
Shagget here. I play a character on How We Roll. I'm not going to tell you who I play because if they die, I'm going to have to redo it. I've already done it once, never again. Follow me on Twitter @Aneb_convos, and I'll see you guys on How We Roll.
Hi, Jane here. You may have seen me in such films as Rise of the Fallen or Lyra vs. Legend. Thanks for watching! You can follow me on Twitter @JaneOnTwitch.
That's with a 0, not an O.
Anyway, I gotta go. The cats. Peace, suckers!